Hello and welcome to Love Island the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast in the entire world. This morning, joining me, we have superstar YouTuber Anastasia Kingsnorth.
Hello.
And the wonderful, the magnificent, the slightly hungover, India Polak. Right, I am absolutely moist, and it's not because he's absolutely hooning it down outside. It's because last night's episode was
Insane.
moist and juicy. So, shall we get straight into it?
Let's get into it. Right, kicking it
Where
off.
do we even start?
Where do we start?
So much happened.
You know what? I never thought we would actually end up in this situation again. But we are. And it is
we're
Mimi
back.
in a love triangle yet again.
It's
but
a square.
This time it's
Oh,
actually
it's
a square.
Yeah.
Because we've got Mimi and Io, and then we've got Josh and Jessica.
Yeah.
We did see in the game last night that Mimi decided to snog Io in the Snog, Marry, Pie challenge. Her reason being that they had a good connection whilst it lasted. Now, do we think that this was maybe her giving him the green light, or was it just a bit of like,
Firstly, I think it was one of the most rogue moves we've seen so far, to be honest. They've kind of said that there is feelings still there.
Yeah.
But then if you're acting on those feelings, there's definitely more than just lurking feelings in the corner in the shadows. It's like an actual thing that you're making happen.
Yeah.
And then obviously it was reciprocated as well by Io being like, oh, I'd marry you if the situation was right.
That's wild. But that was definitely Mimi's way of saying, like, look, my feelings are still, like, for you.
They were
you
both
know.
flirting through the medium of Snog, Marry, Pie, and I don't think that's ever happened before.
Mimi and I have been flirting before Snog, Marry, Pie. Since she's been with Josh, there's been subtle little laughs and like
They've
the way
been
they look at
laughing
each
like
other.
hyenas for weeks.
And Mimi even admitted it herself. It's like every time she's around Io, they laugh. They cannot be friends.
Yeah.
There's too much chemistry, too much sexual tension. Like they're either in it or they're out. I do feel sorry for Josh.
What do you think of his reaction to it?
I feel like it was a little bit hypocritical because fair enough, he actually did kiss Grace.
Yeah.
And I feel like the way he went about kissing Grace and then adding in like, oh, if it wasn't for Mimi, you'd be someone I'd be interested to getting to know. Don't let me stop you, love. Go ahead and get to know her. However, I understand where he's coming from because before he came into the villa, he did ask Mimi, right, are you and Io completely done?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah. So to see like someone you're interested in kiss their old thing, it's a bit like,
If that was me in that situation, I would probably react the exact same, to be honest. Like, he even admitted to Io that he has feelings for her now.
Yeah.
So it's obviously going to be really horrible for him to have to see that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think he's pushing her away, I'll be honest.
Really? I just think she's not
he is
interested.
pushing Mimi away. Mimi's very chill. She wants to take it at a certain pace. And obviously, like, he's getting a bit wound up about situations that are happening. But at the same time, what I think he's doing is backing up his backups by, like, keeping a toe in the water with Grace. But I think that's irking Mimi even more because she said she doesn't want a man with wandering eye syndrome.
Which is fair.
And he's proving that he does have that.
Do you think if Josh didn't kiss Grace in that challenge, things might have been a bit different for Mimi and she might have actually kissed him?
I don't know.
Or do you think she would have always kissed Io?
Well, he went first, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, that might have been
That
a
probably pushed
reaction
her.
to,
Yeah.
If he'd have kissed Mimi, I think it might have gone a very
Should've
different
kissed him.
way.
Yeah.
But this is chaos theory. The smallest
yeah.
little thing can change the whole outcome of your life.
Yeah. I mean, the word gets thrown around. Josh has said it, but he thinks Mimi is playing a game. Do we agree?
I don't think she's playing a game.
Yeah.
I think she just always has liked Io. Like,
Yeah.
even when Josh came in, I think she loves the fact that he treats her right because he's doing everything that a girl would want him to do. But she wants Io to do that.
Yeah.
Like, she wants Io. Point blank period.
She wants
I
Io.
fully thought that Mimi was out of her bad boy phase, but I don't think she is. She's still into Io. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't want Josh, who's making the waffles, drowning all the sauces and feeding her and whispering sweet nothings. She wants the boy who's literally, like, done a madness, ignored her, and gone with someone else.
Because that's almost more exciting, though.
Yeah,
Do you know
they
what
need
I mean?
the
Like,
jeopardy. They need
the
it.
excitement. That's where it is.
Do you know what I'm starting to realise?
Go on.
I think we're not actually realising how similar Mimi and Io are. Like, Mimi is actually a very laid-back, chilled girl.
Yeah.
And so is Io.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that
Their
is
energies
actually...
match so
their
well.
energies
Yeah.
actually match. I know sometimes we'll be watching Mimi and be like, oh, like, you know, Josh is doing the right thing. You want
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
not laying it on
Yeah.
too thick. And she doesn't like that.
Yeah.
But they literally match each other's energy.
I think
He
that's
is so
too much
laid
for
back,
her.
and she's laid back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is why they like
Josh
each
is too much for her,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
also think that Jess is too much for Io.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think, and I've said it a few times, and it might be the first time that something I've said on this podcast is actually going to come true. I think they're going to get back together, and I think it's going to be lovely. And I'm actually starting to back it as well. Not only do I think it's going to happen, I'm actually starting to support it coming back. And who's to
They
say
do
what's
want
wrong
to.
or
Do you know
right?
what? The heart wants what it wants.
Exactly.
A heatwave has struck the island, and no, we are not talking about the Casa bombshells. It's time to debrief on the islanders' fire fits with headline sponsor eBay. Casa and more equals surprises, and seeing Jess in the rat and boa dress was my type on paper. The legacy runs deep, with the stunning dress previously being worn by Arabella in All Stars, Ella in Series 10 and Sammy in Series 9, for glam movie and date nights to drinks with the girlies. Gotta love the versatility. Kieran got lucky with Ellie, Lucy and Emma during raunchy races. Clearly it had everything to do with that sexy Jacquemus tea. Finally, feelings blossomed for Jess and Io when he whisked her away to the hideaway in his iconic Levi's jeans. Could they be boyfriend material? And that's a wrap on these red-hot pre-love looks. Discover more villa inspiration on eBay. Fashion fit for a second chance. eBay, sponsors of Love Island.
The way last night's episode ended with the terrace. Okay, I have a prediction. You guys tell me yours. I think they are going to kiss on the terrace, and it's just going to be chaotic after that. Honestly, we have to wait till tonight.
What I don't understand though is why she would ask Joey, out of all people, to go and get Io.
I think Mimi and Joey are quite close, you know.
Yeah, but also just pull him for a chat.
She can't, because obviously, like, the pretext of what she wants to do is she wants to do sneaky side thing on the terrace, which is the kissing terrace, let's face it. And she doesn't want to be seen pulling Io for a chat, because she's had chats with Josh, and Josh has been like iffy about that, and he's sort of like putting his 2 pence in here, left, right and centre. So she's gone about it a sneaky route. And let's face it, that's sexy.
It's sexy, but it's such
I'm excited
sticky
for
waters.
it. And you know Io is not going to be able to say no to a kiss, because
Io
that
will not.
kiss is just pure sensation.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the kiss alone.
I mean, we also did see that Io and Josh had a man-to-man chat.
Yeah.
And we also saw him say that, you know what, he will stop chasing Mimi if she keeps embarrassing him. Obviously, Io did agree. He was like, if he was in Josh's position, he'd feel very like upset and embarrassed. Can we understand why Josh is feeling embarrassed?
I think this year in particular, a lot of people are very obsessed with the idea of being mugged off and getting embarrassed. It's like, go for it. If it doesn't happen, go for something else. But like Josh in particular, and don't tell him I said this, because he's a big guy and he's quite alpha and very terrifying. But I think he just needs to chill out a little bit and just let the cards fall where they may.
I don't know why. I disagree. Maybe I'm just like a full-on person, but I think the way Josh has reacted to the situation, I don't think he's done anything wrong. And I feel like
He's very jealous.
Yes, he is very jealous, but he likes Mimi. And quite frankly, you don't want to see somebody that you're giving your role to. Fair enough if she wants to get back with Io, but she needs to say that sooner rather than later. Because you've got Josh out here making waffles, you've got him putting his all in, and then it's like he's walking around you hoping you're not going to go back to your ex, and he keeps asking you, do you like this man?
Yeah.
And Mimi's just like, yeah, I've got feelings, but they're put to the side. When are you going to put the feelings on the plate? Like, what's going to happen with these feelings?
Because like what you said, he has still got like a little bit of like his toe dipping it for Grace. Like to kiss Grace, that is a bit mad as well when he's meant to be all for Mimi.
Yeah.
So
She
it's
doesn't
kinda
want,
like-
but he can't be seen to be doing nothing about it, because he knows that there's still this energy and vibe between Io and Mimi, I think.
Yeah.
What would you do, Anastasia? Paint me a picture with words. If you were Josh, would you be reacting like that?
I think he is reacting very full on.
Yeah.
Like I probably wouldn't react
And
like
therefore
that.
pushing her away more?
Yes, but to be honest, I just don't think she ever really properly wanted him. I think she always wanted Io.
Yeah.
I think she just loved the fact that he came in, showed her how to be, you know,
treated.
treated
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
But I don't think she ever had planned to be with him. Like she said, her feelings are to the side. They're not gone.
They're not
Are
gone.
we saying that Mimi's playing a game?
I don't think she's playing a game. I think she genuinely just likes
Yeah,
Io,
she
and I
just
think she
likes
just
him.
needs to
But
act
is
out
she
of
using
it.
Josh as collateral to get back to Io? Because there's been some speeches where she's like, all for you, and communication.
Which is
and
why I feel like Mimi can get herself in trouble if she's not open and honest very soon. There's nothing wrong with wanting to go back to Io, but
can't use people to get
don't
there.
lead Josh on and just get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Get on with it.
Yeah.
So at this stage, even Sweet Boy's getting involved.
Yep.
The Candy Man.
Yeah.
He's basically saying that there's still feelings between Io and Mimi. It's getting on Jess's nerves now.
Yeah.
Is she just taking it out on the wrong person? Because surely, if that's there, that should be a conversation she's having with Io.
Yeah.
Like, how come Sean's getting caught in a crossfire at the minute?
I think it's a lot of misplaced anger. However, I do think Sean is a little bit of a stirrer. Because in comparison to how she had that conversation with Matilda, and Matilda was actually telling her what was what and making
Totally
her
different vibe,
understand
wasn't
it.
it?
Totally different vibe. Whereas I felt like Sean just felt like that badgering older brother, like, oh yeah, he still likes her.
I don't think he like
Do you know?
articulated it right, but he also is kind of speaking facts. He's saying what everyone's
He's saying
thinking.
it from his perspective.
Yeah.
Joey's allowed to be opinionated, so Sean.
Yeah.
So he's just dropping his opinion.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Anastasia, I feel like he's just not really articulating himself very well.
Yeah.
And
It could come across
and
better.
I think it comes across a bit sort of like prodding the finger a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he's not once ever like pulled her to the side and had a one-to-one chat and been like, not going to lie, Jessica, I think there might be something there. He's poking the
doing
finger.
it in front of everyone.
It's all public, as opposed to taking her aside, which would
Yeah.
obviously be preferable, I imagine, for Jessica. But also, I think the reason she's not going to IO directly is because she's not going to get a straight answer, is she? She's going to get some
Riddles.
philosophical
Definitely
riddles
not from
for a
him.
couple of hours and then be none the wiser. So
Yeah.
And then we've also got Kieran now, who's potentially making bolognese sauce. I don't know, but he's basically saying, from IO's perspective, the Mimi thing is done.
Yes.
But then he's telling Josh that he doesn't think it's done. Is this coming from a pure place or is he just in it for the spoons?
What do you think, Anastasia?
I honestly don't know. I don't know why he'd say one thing to Mimi, then another thing to Josh.
Yeah. I actually think it's coming from a sincere place with Kieran. I feel like from the very start, he's always been the person to give people sound advice. And it's never come from like a malicious or like pot stirring way. And I think with him actually saying to Josh, look, I'm not going to lie, I don't think it's done. I feel like he was just trying to give him the heads up and be real and be like, look, I'm just telling you from what I can see, don't get your hopes up because I don't think it's done.
Was it Kieran and Nicole as well? It was like a couple, because they're girlfriend, boyfriend now, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
they are.
can give counselling to the
They're
rest
the mum
of
and the dad.
We've
Yeah.
managed it, guys, so come to us for all the advice. But it's a very confusing he said, she said
Yes.
situation.
It's getting a bit much. They need to sort it out. It's going around the whole villa and it's up in the air. Are Mimi and I are going to get back together? What is happening between the two of them? And we're here as a viewer saying, we don't know.
Imagine having
we don't know.
15 people involved in your relationship.
involved in your
it's so
relationship.
overwhelming,
That
isn't
is
it?
just-
Let alone 3 million people that are watching,
it's a
having an
lot,
opinion
it's a
on
lot.
it as well.
Casa Amor is notorious for its dramatic moments and shocking switches where islanders have to make tough decisions and do what's right for them. So we're counting down the best Sky Mobile Me moments, Casa Amor edition. This girl knows what she wants, and in third place, we have Jess speaking facts.
I know what my type is, and it's that.
Now, Jess may have mentioned that she is the prize, and I love how confident she is, and she always knows exactly what she wants, and she's gonna get it. Coming in at number 2, we have Sean, the sweet salesman, selling himself to Ruby.
I'm the mature man you need.
Yes, Sean, you are mature cheddar. And at number 1, Professor Jess S. manifests.
I believe in the law of attraction. What you put out, you will attract. What you manifest, you will attract. What you think, feel and speak, you will attract.
Understood.
And I think about Io.
I mean, if that's what she's been manifesting since week 1, she is a master manifester because he ran straight after her. Unlike Casa Amor, Sky Mobile offers hassle-free switching. Simply text to switch and embrace your me energy.
We've got Grace and Joey. Now, these two, it's giving Tom and Jerry, like cat and mouse. Like, they just can't stop digging and getting at each other.
Yeah.
We saw in last night's episode during the game, do we think Joey still has feelings for Grace? Because it seems like he just can't understand that she is happy and she wants to move on.
Yeah, do you know what? I think from my perspective, it feels a lot like Joey's just terrified that Jessie and Grace are best mates and he's trying to sabotage it. He probably thinks Grace is like getting in Jessie's ear. And I think he really
she's
really
not.
likes.
She's
I know she's
literally
not.
At all.
Yeah.
But he's got that impression, innit? Because he's literally like, he's trying to get in Grace's head about it as well, it feels like.
Yeah, but I feel like he's being a little bit irrational because I feel like in a place like the villa, you're going to be friends with everyone.
Yeah.
In the real world, how often are you going to be mates with the guy you're talking to's ex? You're never going to see her. But if you're in like an enclosed space in the villa, there's only about 10, 15 of you. The villa's not just about romantic relationships. You make friendships. Like you end up talking to people that you wouldn't talk to in a million years.
Yeah, true.
The thing is, I think with Joey, I think it's a bit of an ego thing. Like, I think his ego's been hurt that Grace has handled herself so well. Like, I think she articulates herself as such a strong, like, independent woman. She's like, you know what? I'm going to leave you to do your business and I'm going to remove myself from the situation. And I think he hates that.
Yeah.
Like, I think he wanted her to be like, no, Joey, blah, blah. Like, I still want you. So I think it's just a bit of an ego thing for him.
Yeah, I think he wants everyone to fancy him.
And he's probably used to everybody fancying him. So he's probably not, like, used to dealing with this situation.
Do we feel like his behaviour is a little bit disrespectful to Jessie? Or do you think it's just like...
I think if I were Jessie by this point, I'd be like, mate, will you shut up about it?
Yeah,
Like, you keep banging on about this thing. It's like, thou doth protesteth too much, isn't it? Like,
She's always like, Joey, stop now. And like, she's constantly having to say it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stop.
No.
He doesn't stop, just keeps digging. And I think he's going to end up sabotaging his own relationship for it.
Yeah.
Because Jessie, by the way, why did Jessie get pied so much?
I don't actually know.
It's just a little bit quiet. But she got pied like 3-4 times.
That's not
Quite
reason to
a
get
lot.
pied.
Well, you get pied for being an introvert. Take that, you quiet person. That's so harsh.
We also saw last night, Ruben and Grace in the Snog Marry Pie Challenge. She did kiss Ruben and she said that, you know what, he's always got my back and I'm enjoying where things are going. Do we think that Ruben and Grace are going to go the distance now? Do we think that's it
Go on,
sealed?
Anna.
Honestly, I don't think so. I just
she's
think
brutal.
Yeah, I just don't think she's that into him.
Who do we think Grace is into?
I don't even think she's into anybody. I think she's kind of in that stage where it's like there's nobody in there that she's really gravitating towards.
I think she'd probably prefer Josh over Ruben, but there's definitely nothing there with Ruben. There's the vibe I'm getting. It's not like that obvious, I don't think. It just doesn't feel like genuous. Yeah,
I think it just feels a
disingenuous.
bit-
It just doesn't feel genuous.
I feel like it
When
just
she
feels a bit
talks.
flat.
Yeah.
Their relationship.
The whole vibe's so
Yeah.
flat, you can
They're
land a
very,
plane
it's
on
very
it.
friendly.
Yeah,
like, I don't
it's
get
pals.
like romantic situation from situation.
I don't know, when she talks about him, I'm just like, do you even believe that?
Yeah,
doesn't
she's
sound
not
excited.
enthusiastic.
No.
Yeah. She's
But
not
then,
enthusiastic.
like, I know I keep bringing this up. The kiss with Messiah, right? Like, the way she spoke about that was like, you've seen the passion come through the TV. Whereas now, when she talks about Ruben, she's like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Stop using good as an adjective. It's a terrible adjective. Think of a different word. If you're going to be convincing, good and nice doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Because you can't roll off someone and go, that was nice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't. We also saw that she pied Joey.
Respectfully or disrespectfully.
That pie nearly took his head off.
Oh, mate.
I know.
His
Like,
teeth came out the back of his
she
head.
smashed that
Crumbled.
into his face.
Outrageous.
I mean, was that well deserved?
She took a run up.
I'm not going to say anything, but it was well deserved.
Yeah, well, maybe there's a lot of frustration
rest of the
coming
show.
out, built up over the last couple of weeks of, him piping up constantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
Yeah.
May I add at this point that the cream in that challenge, I don't know if you remember it.
it's
Obviously, I
stinky.
did it at the beginning of the year. It is horrendous. Do you
It
know
smells
how
like cheese.
people get instantly annoyed by it?
Yeah.
It's not because you've been pied so much as how annoying it is to have cream on your face.
In that heat as
In
well,
the
I
heat,
hate
baking.
it.
Anyway, back to the podcast.
Question for you, Anna. So, do you think that Joey and Jess will go the distance? We did see that in the game, she kissed Joey and she said that, you know what, they have a strong connection and she wouldn't want to kiss anyone else.
I do think she really likes him.
Yeah.
And I think he really likes her as well. Like, they kind of had that instant connection.
Yeah.
I do actually think they will go the distance.
Really?
If he stops piping up over the Grace situation, I think that is going to push her away.
Yeah.
to be
Wait, can you
honest.
imagine him still talking about it when they've come out the villa and
That's-
Grace is not in earshot? Like, if
She's
he's still
just-
bringing it up, then it's a problem.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she just hates the fact that he's really like opinionated all the time on every situation.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that wasn't the case, I think it'd be like so fine.
And quite
Yeah,
frankly,
fair.
I think she's been quite patient with him.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah.
amount of
No,
times
she
she's
really
had to
has.
tell him off and be like, Joey, close that mouth of yours. And he still does it.
Yeah.
But like, I'm surprised she's not actually like
Yeah.
taken off by now.
Yeah.
But I think that's why they will work, actually, because Joey's very much an extrovert. I think she's more of an introvert.
Yeah.
And weirdly, that seems to work in a relationship.
Opposites attract.
Yeah.
Opposite attract.
Yeah.
But whilst we're on Joey for a minute, can we please talk about why did he snog Nicole? That is a girl in a relationship. What?
I
That
don't know.
was wild.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. There was no way he could have made that respectful.
You can't style that out.
No.
You can't justify that action.
No.
No, I really don't understand.
I just think he's doing things for the plot now, and I love it for TV purposes. But when I'm sat there and I'm like, bro, you're doing that for the plot. It's not real.
But it's also a bit like, because him and Kieran are friends, and then also
Yeah.
Kieran was like, you know what, I do think it's a bit weird that you kissed my missus. Like,
yeah,
I
and
would
fair
never-
point.
Kissed my girlfriend.
yeah.
You kissed his girlfriend.
It's just not,
You
no,
can't
like,
go
it's
around doing
not.
that.
You cannot go around
I'm
kissing
surprised.
people's girlfriends.
Do you know what? Actually, like, I think earned Kieran a lot of points in that moment as well. Like, he was so composed.
Yes, he
And
was.
he didn't lose his head. I mean, he's a rugby boy as well. He
Yeah,
can hold
yeah.
his own. But he was very much like, no, let me speak. Let me say my
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
And obviously, Joey was just being bare lipper. But like, I feel like he held his own in that situation very well, and it could have gone a lot souther.
Absolutely.
Because like in real world, your mate kisses your missus.
That would just never happen.
Imagine having a game. Imagine having a games night at home, and then like one of your boys' friends kisses you in the games night. You're playing Monopoly.
Next thing you know,
like Truth or Dare or like Drunken Jenga. Like, yeah. So that is something that cannot be justified. Only Joey can understand himself. Moving on to Connor. Oh, bless Connor. He got a lot of rings in the Snog, Marry, Pie challenge. He got a ring from Nicole, Jessica, and Grace, and they all agreed that he was husband material, and he always looked out for the girls. Is this like a classic case of like friend zoning, do you think?
It just is though, because girls just like the bad guy. Like they're always attracted to what they can't have. Like Connor's so nice.
Such facts. Do you know what? As a man of many, many pies, what I will say is the girls are saying that he's marriage material now, but clearly you don't think that, girls, because no one's coupled up with a guy in 3 weeks. Not Nicole, not Jess, not Grace
That's true.
have gone anywhere near him. So he's not husband material.
That is true,
he's just the nicest guy in there.
Yeah.
Which is a bit, here's your participation trophy, mate.
Bless him.
There's always got to be like a nice guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And maybe
I just feel for him, though,
the case
he's
like nice guys.
He's a
special
lovely
ass,
boy.
maybe.
He's a good-looking geezer, and he's getting husband material.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He did get a snog from Lolly. She said, since I've come in, all I want to do is snog you. So I think it's cute. And do you think they're a good match?
They are cute.
Yeah, I think they're cute together. I don't know if they're together just because they're the only single ones in the villa. I'm not sure, but I'm happy for him that like he's actually getting some love in there now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough gig going in there and just being everyone's mate. That's often harder and more emotionally tumultuous than actually having like a girl or a boy in there.
Yes.
You just get battered by everybody's problems.
So at the end of last night's episodes, we did see that there now is going to be a public vote.
Yeah.
The votes are for the most compatible couple. Lines are now closed, guys. But who would you say, Anastasia, is the most compatible couple in your opinion?
Right now, I would say Nicole and Kieran.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. I feel like they're going to go the distance.
Yeah.
From day
Are you
one.
just saying that because they're only boyfriend and girlfriend in there?
Well, maybe.
For that means they are compatible, I guess.
Does it?
They live like 15 minutes away from each other. I feel like they stand a really good chance when they come out.
What about you?
Do you know what?
Okay.
This is rogue.
Go for it.
But I think based on what happened at the end of the episode, it's going to happen. I've called it. I'm very confident in this. Io and Mimi are going to recouple. And I will say that they are probably the most compatible. They have the exact same energy, the exact same outlook on life.
Yeah.
They both move at half pace. And I want to speed them both up like a voice note. They're like two sexy sloths when they chat.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. They're not a couple yet. I do feel like they're going to recouple.
100%.
But in terms of like everyone in the villa, honestly, they're just on each other's wavelength. Yeah, and I feel like maybe not everyone can relate to them, which is why I feel like sometimes when we're watching them, we're like, can we pick this up? Can we get going somewhere? But it works for them.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine what it's like outside the villa when they're together and they're trying to order a takeaway. They'd just be very hungry.
They wouldn't eat.
No decisions would be made. But they are very, very similar in that sense, I think.
Yeah, they are. Well, guys, it's happened again.
How does it go so quick?
I know we've got to the end of the Morning After podcast. Anna, it's been amazing having this morning. And guys, Anna's going to be with us all week.
All week long.
And we will catch you guys here again tomorrow morning.
Make sure you're leaving any ideas, questions, opinions in the comments section. We read all of them.
We do.
I do personally. So does India. We stay up late at night reading through these to make sure they're heard. So please do leave them. And just leave a 5-star review as well, just for the crack.
Just for the crack.
Just for vibes.
Bye, guys.